Good afternoon and welcome to Flannel Hill Farm. I think it actually still might be morning. It is. I've lost track of days and times during our cold snap. We got basically nothing done. We were just trying to keep everybody warm and no leaky pipes and such. So we just basically stayed alive. So I have had some questions. Local people have been asking me if I've had any problems with my chickens over the cold snap. So I wanted to talk about some things that I don't think a lot of people know or understand fully. And so we're gonna do that now. So first things first, our chickens stayed in their fence and in their coop. This never changed. All 6 of these chickens have been staying here the entire time. I didn't change anything. I ended up putting their food and their water inside their coop. And I only did that so that they could in turn keep themselves warm. So chickens are very good about their metabolism is what keeps them warm. So they eat, and for 3 hours after that, their body metabolizing that food keeps them warm. So I put food in the coop, which generally they don't have food in the coop. Put food in the coop for that purpose. If they got cold at night, they could eat, keep themselves warm. So that we did change. Otherwise, no insulation. This has looked this way. I haven't even moved it since the cold snap started. We were getting eggs consistently. They were frozen, obviously, because they would lay them, and by the time I got out here, they would be frozen because things were freezing so quickly. Otherwise, no heat lamp, no nothing. So let's talk about that. I did, in the beginning, turn their coop. So their coop is not directly north, south, or east, west. It is facing southwest. So that the wind, the prominent wind that we were having, was coming here, and it was not hitting a spot open with wire. It was hitting solid. So that happened. None of my chickens have any kind of issues from the cold. They are all operating just fine. There's no real signs of frostbite. I do have some chickens that had injuries from the fox, and so those injured places that are not getting a lot of blood flow anyways have always kind of looked a little distorted, but I think that's because it's not getting a lot of blood flow. I don't think that's frostbite. So why did we not put a heat lamp or a heat source inside the coop? Heat lamps are dangerous. Heat lamps, if they fall, can cause fires. They can cause smoke, all kinds of stuff. And my girls are locked in there at night, so had I put a heat lamp in there, it could have started a fire and they have nowhere to go. So that's the first thing. It can cause fires. So why didn't we have radiant heat or any other kind of heat source in the coop? Because chickens, like most other animals, adapt to their surroundings. So my philosophy, the way I raise my chickens, is I get them as chicks or I hatch them from eggs, and they get a heat lamp until they go outside. Once they go outside, they're on their own. Their body can then adapt to what it has to do to stay warm. It can also, they will know how to keep themselves warm. So my chickens know that in order to stay warm, they have to eat. Eating will help them with their metabolism to stay warm. My chickens also know that they have to be friends enough to huddle up. They'll puff their feathers out. A lot of chickens that get heat in their coops will not do that. They won't huddle up. They won't puff their feathers out. They just rely on the heat lamp. So you put a heat lamp out there, maybe it works. I can't. I would have to run an extension cord from there all the way down. So I can't do that. Also, in this cold snap, lots of people lost power. So now that heat lamp is out and they don't have that heat anyways. So that is why we choose not to use a heat source at all in the coop. I think that's something that not a lot of people know, and I don't think a lot of us talk about it as much as we should. If you can guarantee that your chickens will have a source of heat in cold temperatures all the time, year-round, a heat lamp or a heat source is not a big deal. If you can't guarantee that, you can't guarantee that you'll always have electricity. You can't guarantee that a generator will keep functioning. You can't guarantee that you'll be able to change a propane tank on a propane heater. You can't guarantee that you'll be there if a fire starts. Then I would say heating a chicken coop is not necessary, and is probably something that I would not even recommend. They do just fine. They are having the time of their life. I came out in the morning, and on the 5-degree days when it was negative 20-degree wind chills, they came out, they did their thing, they went back, they puffed their feathers up, they huddled, they did just fine. So that is one thing that I really wanted to make sure that we talked about. We are going to get back to working, more insulation. And Big K, how are you doing? Is it working now?
Kinda. Not really.
Not really. Okay. We're gonna post this video and hopefully get some answers before Big K figures it out himself. Big K has done a lot of research. We all know how Big K researches. And Big K is trying to refill these little camping propane. Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
That's what everybody knows them by.
Bottles.
Little 1-gallon camping propane bottles. He's refilling them from, what is this, 20 pound? 10 pound? 20 pound? 20 pound propane tank. It's supposed to be possible. It is not working.
I don't know if I got a clog or what the deal is.
How do you have a clog of propane?
It happens. That's why you got to have a propane filter.
Okay.
But I don't know.
So what have you done? You have relieved the pressure.
Yeah.
Whatever that is. He hooks it up, flips it over, turns it on, and it's supposed to make a sound, and it's not making a sound. So the frustration level's high here. If anybody has any ideas, you can contact us via the comments. Well,
I could pull the Schrader or
email flannelhillfarm@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Nothing?
Not enough to worry about.
Not filling, guys. There are people a lot smarter out there.
True.
Help out the Big K.
Quarter pound maybe?
I got nothing. So he said it went from empty to maybe a quarter pound.
In more than 5 minutes.
In 5 minutes. And there is no leak.
No.
I don't hear a leak.
I'm going to try a needle nose on that Schrader valve and see if that...
A needle nose on the Schrader valve. I hope somebody else knows what this is. So all he did was get this connector here. This connection. I don't know if you can see this. I don't know if it's even possible to get you close enough to see it. This connection right here. No, you're not going to be able to see that. So he got the little connector like you're supposed to have. And
hey, is that a benzomatic or a Coleman?
benzomatic. So we got the two different kinds. We got the benzomatic and the Coleman. And what kind of this thing do we have?
Oh, I don't even know.
This is a no-name. A no-name propane tank. Oh gosh. Oh, that stinks.
Thanks.
Okay, we're gonna go away. So if anybody's got any ideas, please let us know. It would be greatly appreciated. And do your research. Really think about whether or not you really need a heat source for your chickens. You don't really need one. I would say if you live up in like the Arctic Circle, it might not be a bad idea. But as long as it's draft free and they can get in a corner where there is no draft, they should be just fine. They are little dinosaurs, y'all. They're little dinosaurs. So on your way back down the hill, if you wouldn't mind liking, sharing, subscribing, hitting that little bell notification button thing down there. And please remember, we appreciate y'all.